I Wish You Would is a cover of the Yardbirds' debut single from 1964, which is itself a cover of Billy Boy Arnold's original from 1955. 1955 is the year when everything changed in the music world. For a while now, white American kids have been listening to black rhythm and blues records, finding in R&B the kind of excitement, passion, and sensuality that was lacking in the day's white pop music. In 1953, radio DJ Alan Freed, in Cleveland, started broadcasting the most raucous R&B records on his show, and called them rock and roll, which was an R&B euphemism for sex. His success brought him to the Big Apple, and in 1955 the term he popularized took hold, and rock and roll music overtook the nation's youth. Before that, pop music was generally regarded as mere entertainment, but rock and roll was something more. It was pure elated ecstasy, a feeling greater than anything the kids felt before, and it became the center of their world. It created a generation gap, and the youth had a culture of its own, a culture driven by music, which viewed the world in a different way from the adults. But some kids felt that rock and roll, a music whose lyrics were aimed at teenagers, was too juvenile for their taste. They were still part of the new consciousness, still looking for their identity in pop music, but couldn't find it in rock and roll. Thus, they explored earlier styles like jazz, gospel, folk, country, and blues, and turned them into the center of their identity. It happened in Britain as well, as the British youth was now looking to America for inspiration, and found it in its pop music. In the 50s, in London, jazz enthusiasts split into two camps. There were the trads, who liked the traditional early jazz of New Orleans with its rootsy, primitive sound. It made them feel like going back to a more primal existence than modern urban life, and they dressed in an unkempt way to signify it. The other camp were the modernists, who preferred modern, sophisticated jazz. They were mostly working-class youth who wanted to advance in society, and they had an individualistic, live-in-the-moment attitude. They dressed sharply and aspired to have their own personal look to express their individuality. By the early 60s, the modernist camp itself split. A younger generation of kids joined in, kids who were into jazz, but were also affected by rock and roll. They found a midway sound in rhythm and blues, a simpler type of jazz that had more mature content than rock and roll, but was also electrified and shared many characteristics with it. The older modernists regarded these kids as poseurs and gave them the derogatory nickname mods. The name stuck, and the mods became a separate youth subculture revolving around rhythm and blues. Soon enough, the mod subculture started to produce its own bands who played their brand of rhythm and blues. One of the earliest, and the greatest, was the Yardbirds. Known mainly for their guitarist Eric Clapton, a blues fanatic who aspired to evoke the spirit of real blues with his guitar, they became a leading band on the scene, and Clapton was regarded as a god. For their debut single, they chose to cover a song by one of Chicago's bluesmen, Billy Boy Arnold. Bowie, in the early to mid-60s, was a mod. Here he is covering the Yardbirds version, going back to those years, and not the Billy Boy Arnold version, which has some more mature lyrics. But while the Yardbirds version tried to achieve the raw sound of their live performance, Bowie's version is a clean studio take, and therefore not as exciting. One thing it does have going for it is Mick Ronson's guitar riff, which is different from Clapton's, a tortured sound that goes well with the lyrics about a heartbroken man. There are also some interesting sound effects going on. The blues is tragic music, often about a life of sin that leads to the downfall of the hero. Chicago blues, on the other hand, had a more defiant attitude, and the hero was often an individualist who stood up to the world and came up on top. The lyrics were full of male prowess, delivered in a commanding voice and enhanced by the electric backing. This song is more pathetic, more traditionally blues, as the singer is begging his lover to come back. But even here, we see that he feels like the woman belongs to him, that she still loves him even if she left him to be with other men. This combination of individualism and male prowess had huge appeal for the mods, and you can hear it mainly in the music of the Rolling Stones. The Yardbirds had a more traditional blues attitude, so they covered songs like this. Bowie was also never as domineering as Mick Jagger, and this song is more up his alley.
Come back, baby, give me one more chance. No, till love is gonna give you romance. Yeah, romance. All I know in my arms. Oh, yeah.
Like in the previous two versions, this is followed by a freak-out of electric guitar and harmonica, dueling to the death. It isn't bad, but, like most other tracks on the album, not exactly exceptional.